Lian, nawala ako. Lian.
Hindi ka nawala, sila ang nawala.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Research Talk on Practical Research 1, Week 4. This
Ma'am, naka-off mic po.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Research Talks on Practical Research 1, Week 4. This activity is headed by our very own Dr. Leonilo Basas Capulso, Chief Executive Officer of Beyond Books Publication, located at Macabebe, Pampanga. Before we start, let me share to you some of our house rules through PowerPoint presentation. Do not share the Google Meet code. Moderators will be validating the email of the participants. Use the same email address that you registered with us. If you will use a different email address, inform us immediately. Please mute your microphone during the webinar proper and turn it on during the open forum, or if you have a question, be polite, do not interrupt. If you wish to speak or have any points or motion, use the raise hand icon. The facilitator or host will recognize you and allow you to speak. Be prepared. In case we experience any technical difficulties. In case of technical difficulties, leave the meeting room and rejoin the meeting. We are live both in our YouTube channel, Beyond Books Publication TV, and Facebook page, Beyond Books Publication. Subscribe and follow to be updated on our research talks, 3 Eyes or Inquiry, Investigation and Immersion every Wednesday, and Practical Research 1 every Friday. Feel free to share it to your friends and colleagues as well. If you have questions, please do not hesitate to email or contact us. You may contact us at Beyond Books Publication FB page, or you may also call and text 0933-5564-886 or 09561-30709. You may email us at beyondbookspublication2018@gmail.com. To start our session, let us now have a prayer and patriotic song through audio-visual presentation. Welcome to our research talk on Practical Research 1. I am Cherry E. Garcia from the Schools Division of Zambales. You may also introduce yourself by maximizing the use of our chat box. You may state your name, location, and school where you belong in order for you to be recognized. I am sure our topic for tonight will benefit us participants. It will be very helpful in making our research. Let us now hear a message from our Practical Research Chairwoman, Dr. Maria Teresita Herong Calapis, from Dr. Pablito B. Mendoza Senior High School. Ma'am Maria Teresita.
Hello everyone. Thank you, Ma'am Cherry. Maayong gabi for all the people of Mindanao and Visayas. Maayong gabi sa inyong tanan. To our beloved CEO and President of Beyond Books Publication, Dr. Yonilo B. Capulso. To my PR1 group. To all the participants, fellow teachers, students, magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. Attending in this kind of activities will help every one of us to become abreast with all the necessary thing in order for us to write our own research paper, especially for students in PR1. This is your first research subject in the senior high. I wish you that all your hard work and of course yung inyong pag-a-attend dito every Friday will pays off after ng mga discussions by our excellent speakers in. Okay? So for teachers naman, we can review. We can review some important things or important facts regarding and processing our research paper, especially when we are studying in the graduate school. Now, the Beyond Books publication has a lot to offer for everyone, especially in terms of references. Marami po ngayon na bagong labas na mga aklat and some of the authors are here. We have books in inquiries, investigation, and immersion, which is a reference book for grade 12. We also have PR1 for qualitative research and PR2 for quantitative research book published by Beyond Books Publication. And for teachers and thesis writers, we also have books to guide you in writing your research. Meron tayong book on research, how to write a research. Okay, it's a newly published book by Beyond Books Publication. For those who wants to publish also their article, their paper, we also have the international journal, yung IJAMS ng Beyond Books Publication. If you are interested, you like the page of Beyond Books Publication, okay, you can contact the people behind Beyond Books Publication. Merong mga email doon na nakapost sa FB page, so you can message us. Of course, the people behind the success of every or the weekly session of PR1, my co-chair, maraming salamat, Dr. Rio Santiago, The different or the weekly facilitator, of course, si Ma'am Cherry, pangalawang week na niya na mag-FASI. To our technical team, Dr. Myra Flores and Sir Jaben, thank you so much. And also si Ma'am Dr. Yvette, Maria Yvette Menyano, nakatuwang ni Dr. Myra and Sir Jaben sa technical. Maraming salamat po sa inyo. At magandang gabi. And of course, my advance congratulations for the speakers tonight na alam ko, my dear students, you will really learn a lot from this person. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Calapis, for that warm welcome. And now, it's my honor to introduce to you our resource speaker. Our resource speaker for tonight has been in the teaching profession for over 25 years, had handled various positions in the academe, both in the secondary and tertiary levels. Currently, he is the high school principal of Casa de Niño Montessori and Science High School in Laguna, where he also served as its first senior high school coordinator, and also a member of the program associate team of the BK School of Research based Shah Jadpur, Bangladesh. Prior to his current placement, he also taught in a national school plus in Medan, Indonesia, where he became a research advisor to his students for an inter-school research meet. And through an invitation, he visited 2 educational institutions, Bangkok University and Bangbuathang School World-Class Standard School, which are based in Prak, Hanong, and Nuntaburi, Thailand, respectively. He is an active member of the following organizations: San Pedro Private Schools Administrators Association, Philippine Association of Chemistry Teachers, Philippine Association of Physics and Science Instructors, Kapisanan ng Kimika sa Pilipinas, and others, have attended trainings and symposia sponsored by the American Association of Chemistry Teachers, Southeast Asian Ministers of Education Organization, SIMEO, Principals Academy in Singapore, and others. Certified peer reviewer by Poblans Academy, Microsoft Innovative Educator, an undergraduate and graduate level statistician, registered teacher, and a resource speaker. Chemical science is our speaker's major of interest in the undergraduate level, and chemistry teaching in the graduate school. Aside from being the school head, he still teaches basic sciences, senior high level physics, and research subject. My dear colleagues, may I introduce to you our resource speaker, Mr. Herbert M. San Pedro. Let us welcome him with a virtual applause. Yes, sir.
Hello, thank you very much, Ma'am Cherry.
Yes,
and
sir.
Of course, thank you very much also to Dr. Calapis. Now to the viewers of our program for tonight. Hello, everyone. So this is my second time here in BBP. My first time was 2 weeks ago, I think, when I discussed in the III, in the 3 I's. Now I will going to discuss here in PR1. Okay, so may I share my screen first? Ma'am, may I share my screen? I cannot. It says that it is disabled by the host. Okay, so let me, okay. Okay, share. Okay, can you see na po is react if you can already see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so thank you very much. Now again, good evening everyone, and I am very honored to be part of this group. And this is not possible without the help of our CEO of Beyond Books Publishing, Sir Doy. Thank you, sir. For those who are here and opted to listen to my discussion, thank you very much also for spending your precious time tonight. Before I proceed, let me inform the group that PR1 or Practical Research 1 is now known as Research in Daily Life 1, which actually deals with qualitative research design. Now, therefore, all examples that you will see are under the context of qualitative research. Since research is a course that consistently evolve now, especially in terms of protocols, formats, and other technical considerations, I sincerely encourage everyone to continuously stay updated in the new trends and practices in research. Only research mechanical process stays constant, though how to execute the process may differ from one researcher to another researcher, or from one institution to another institution. This is one way of saying that researchers can execute every step the easiest way he or she thinks, provided that he is not jeopardizing the existing rules or guidelines of research. Tonight, this is what you will hear from me. I will try to discuss the topics depending on how I execute the process. Okay? Um, Basically, my session is part 2 of the principal topic, designing research project and formulating research title. The first was actually discussed last Monday by our head, Dr. Calapis. And because of that, I hope that our participants before are also here tonight to have a complete discussion of the topic. And for those who are first-time attendees, no worries. You can view the first part in YouTube and in Facebook account of DDP. Okay? Mhm. So let me change slide. Okay. Let me share to you briefly the topics which were discussed last time. So these are design a research project related to daily life, write a research title, and provides the justification reasons for conducting the research. Okay, so these were all the topics discussed last time. Now, 3 significant concepts that all researchers must master. Okay, why? Because these, together with my topics, will actually serve as the foundation of your work. For tonight, I will going to discuss the following. Okay, we will going to have the formulation of research questions. Next is state a good statement of the problem with specific questions. Scope and delimitation of the study. And in other words, they consider limitation of the study. And the last one is benefits and beneficiaries of research. Okay? So, yan po ang ating pag-uusapan. Okay. Let me begin my discussion how I generate research questions. So, dyan tayo magsisimula. By the way, our objective would be at the end of the session The participants should be able to formulate effective research question or questions, write a good statement of the problem with the corresponding specific questions, state the scope and delimitation of the study or limitation of the study, and know the benefits of research. So, ito po ang ating sana'y makuha after ng ating discussion. Okay, so like I said, let me begin with how I generate research questions. Now, mapapansin niyo po dito sa aking material, RQs refers to research questions, at meron din tayong specific questions. I would like to emphasize that here, in the context of our discussion, when we say research question, it pertains to specific questions. Yung po tayo. At saan po nakikita ang specific questions? Sila po ay nakikita after stating the statement of the problem. Sila yung sinasabi natin specifically, the researchers will going to answer the following questions. So yun yung sinasabing specific questions. At dito sa context natin, ito yung tinatawag nilang research questions. But what I would like to discuss tonight is there is really a difference between what is research question and what is specific questions. May difference actually sila. Although in the context here, in our context, and in some researches, another name for specific questions ay research question. Okay, so yun po yun another name. But there is really a difference between the two. So yung difference, yun po ang ating pag-uusapan. Now, we all know that in most cases, it will start from any preconceived thoughts or inquiry. Di ba? Pag tayo ay gumagawa ng research, sometimes meron kang naiisip na tanong. Merong pumasok sa iyong utak at nakakreate ka ng tanong. Or the other way around. Before we come up with a question, we need to have a topic. A topic na pinag-uusapan natin. Topic na ating pinag-uusapan. After nating mag-usap, diba? After nating mag-usap, makaka-create ka na ng tanong sa iyong isipan. Now, either of the two pathways, the question is, where do we really base our inquiry? Where do we really base our idea? Where do we really base our question? Okay. Puntahan natin itong konsepto na ito. Now, pag tayo ay gumagawa ng research or magsisimula pa lang, we always come up with this big, broad topic or idea in mind. So, ang pupuntahan ko dito yung parang meron tayong pinag-usapan. Okay? Now, sometimes this big or broad topic ay pwedeng isang statement form or pwedeng tanong na agad. Pero saan sila nanggaling? I will try to present the three common sources of inquiry. Una, pwede siyang nanggaling sa ating interests. Okay? So kung ikaw yung tao na magaling sa computer, magaling sa kung anumang bagay at gusto mong pag-aralan ito, so nagkakaroon ka ng katanungan para sa iyong sarili. Okay? So, interests. Next, pwede ka rin magkaroon ng big idea or big question in an influence. Okay, sa pamamagitan ng influence. Paano yun? For example, in the context of education, we as teachers basically should know how to do classroom management. Now, there is one teacher in your department who is very, very good in classroom management. Diba? And you want to adapt his or her style. Bakit siya nagagawa niya yun? anong meron? So again, meron siyang influence sa'yo. So because of that influence, you are now triggered to come up with a research. Basically, kung ito ay context lang naman ng eskwelahan, minsan tinatawag siyang action research, no? Sa mga specific area lang naman. But again, merong influensya kung bakit ka nakapag-isip ng tanong or bakit ka nagkaroon ng big idea. Next, pwede ka rin makakuha ng big idea or question after doing some readings. Masyado kang active sa mga bagay-bagay na naglalahad or nagsasabi about your, let us say, about personality. Okay? About personality of person. So, diba, makaka-create ka na ng tanong dyan. Nagbasa ka about the psychology of educational psychology, then nakita mo ito, merong nakaka-catch ng attention mo, nakapagtanong ka, nakaka-create ka ng tanong. So, meron ka na namang big and broad topic or idea. Okay? And another factor na pwedeng naging dahilan ay nagkaroon ka ng tinatawag namin observations. Okay? By merely using your senses, especially the eyes, no, nakita ka. And after seeing it, nagkaroon ka ng tanong. Okay? Nagkaroon ka ng tanong sa iyong isipan or nakakreate ka ng konsepto sa iyong isipan. Hindi pa nga lang siya ganun kalinaw. Okay? Kasi meron kang big or broad topic or idea. So, pwedeng statement or pwedeng tanong na siya agad. But the thing is, ano siya? Now, this big, broad topic or idea may somehow generate question. Diba? And what do you call this question na pumasok sa iyong isipan? We call it as the general question. Okay? Dahil ng bakit general question? Kasi nanggaling siya sa broad idea. Nanggaling siya sa big topic. So, syempre, ang makikreate ng pagtanong dyan sa iyong isipan ay general din. Okay? Now, what is a general question? So, a general question basically is the research question. Ano ngayon ang definition nito? The definition of a research question is, it is the overarching question of your broad topic. And normally, this question starts with a why. Kaya pag sinimulan mo yung tanong mo ng why, you are creating what we call research question. This is not yet your specific question. Okay. One way of presenting research question is with the help of an inverted pyramid. Ayan ha. Sa taas, yung sinasabing research question is supposed to be. Okay? And as you go down, meaning nagkakaroon ka na ng focus, right? Nagkakaroon ka na ng mas sentro kung ano yung gusto mong pag-aralan. So from the very broad question, as you go down, it will be more focused. This time, you have here now your specific questions. So ano ang gitna? From broad to specific, ano ang gitna? So dito nangyayari yung ibang proseso. Okay, now, if you will going to present it in a question manner, dito siya sa taas, research question. Sa pinakababa is specific question. Kapag yung broad topic mo ay in statement form, then you will have here your broad topic. But still, you will have here your specific questions. In some context, nandito yung salitang research question, nasa baba. Kasi nga, ang connotation ay research question is the same with specific questions. Okay? Now, bakit din ganon? Kasi there are some researches na ang way of presenting ay they do not have statement of the problem, but they have objective of the study. So anong magka-partner? If you have objective of the study, what comes next are the research questions. If you have statement of the problem, what comes next ay specific questions. Kaya nagkaroon halos sila ng almost similarity. Okay? Kasi nga, depende rin sa format na sinusundan natin. Pero again, in our point of discussion, research question ay an overarching question supposed to be that you will generate after having your broad topic, and as we go along, it will now boil down to what we call a specific question. Later, you will see the difference in terms of saan siya nagsisimula. Kung ang RQ ay nagsisimula sa Y, saan naman dapat nagsisimula ang mga specific? Okay, let me share you my template. This is what we call the topic matrix template. This is how we do it in our school. Dito, sa konsepto nito, wala munang ibang ginagawa ang aming estudyante. They are only using their mind, their thoughts. Ano yung nasa utak nila? Because I want them to own the topic. I want them to own their research. Diba? Kasi kung sila yung nag-generate, sila ang lahat, mas alam nila yung paikot-ikot ng gusto nilang gawin. So how do we do it? Now, we will start with thinking of a broad topic. Ano yung gusto mo? So, papasok yung ano ba ang interest mo? Ano ba ang naobserbahan mo? Ano na ba ang nabasa mo? Yan, generate the broad topic. After generating the broad topic, then you create a research question, starting with why. So, ito yung topic. Ano kayang tanong ang pwede kong i-generate from this one? Okay? Yun pa rin yun. Dahil broad, more or less, makikreate mo rin broad din. Next. Current situation. Sabi ko nga, ito ay dependent on the student themselves. Wala munang binabasa, all about themselves. So, pag sinabi kong current situation, ano yung nakikita mong nangyayari base sa topic na yan? Ano ang nakikita mo base sa topic na yan? Obviously, maglilista ang bata. But, naglilista siya. Susunod, kung nakikita mong ganyan na sitwasyon, ano ang target mo? Ano ang goal mo? Siyempre, mag-create siya ng goal. Now, to create your goal, it can be a one-to-one correspondence with the current situation. Okay, pwedeng ganon. Kung ilan yung current situation, pwedeng yun din ang bilang ng goals. Pero pwede rin namang as one. Marami kang current situation and then you will think of one goal. One big goal. Dahil may goal ka na, ang susunod na tanong ay, how will you achieve that goal? Dito, may pinag-uusapan na tayong perceived gap. Diba? Ano yung kulang sa palagay mo? As a student researcher, ito ang topic mo, ito ang tanong mo, ito ang sitwasyon, ito ang target mo, ano kaya ang kulang? From there, mayroon siyang pwedeng ilagay. Yeah. This topic matrix ay ginawa ng bata all by himself. Wala muna siyang binabasa. Ang ginagamit muna ay mga thoughts ng bata. I will give you an example. Okay. Halimbawa, ang broad topic, wala pa tayo pinag-uusapan, isip lang natin, teenagers and online learning. So, research question. I provided two. So, why? So, why do you think students are having a hard time in doing their online classes? Medyo malaki pa ang tanong, di ba? Or, why are there some students don't attend their online classes? So, research question. May tinatanong ka. Kaya lang maraming posibleng sagot. Diba? Maraming posibleng sagot. Ano ngayon nakikita mo in relation to your topic at sabihin natin questions? Mental situation, meron sinasabi mga mental health problems or mental health issues. Meron din pinag-uusapang poor academic compliance. Meron din pinag-uusapang limited access to the internet and so on. Yan ang caring situation. Okay? Ano ngayon yung goal mo? Ano ngayon yung goal mo? Improve mental health of the students, improve academic performance, strategies how to address poor net connectivity. Wala ka naman kasi magagawa doon sa internet connection. So, ang kailangan mo na lang gawin ay, anong gagawin mo para ma-solve yun? So, yun ang goal. If that is your goal, ano yung gap na sa palagay mo dapat mong i-address? Siyempre, kung improve mental health, dapat meron kang mental health program. Pero ano? Kung pinag-uusapan ay improve academic performance, so pwede natin sabing teaching styles in online distance learning. Kung pinag-uusapan ay strategies how to address, siguro pwede natin pag-usapan din yan ang training in the proper usage of the online tools or let me say scheduling of classes. So ito yung lumabas na mula sa isipan ng bata from a big broad topic of teenagers and online learning and from the research questions na pinost. Tanong, tapos na ba rito? From here, magsisimula na yung tinatawag nating, take note, this is just the foundation. Okay? Ikaw pa lang to. Magsisimula pa lang ang research. This time, you need to do now the readings. We will now conduct the literature review. I will not discuss in detail how to conduct the literature review. But what I'm trying to say here is, after doing the matrix, at least may foundation ka na, what comes next is do the literature review. Find articles, find researches that tell something about your big idea. Who knows? So, what are the recent findings when it comes to your topic? By the way, I just want to emphasize that although this may vary from school to school or advisor to advisor, normally kapag nagkakandak ng literature review, as much as possible, parang hindi bababa sa 20 articles. Kaya lang kung ito ay high school, siguro pwede na ang 10. No? Depende kasi sa complexity ng topic. Pero ang mahalaga doon ay yung year, yung span ng taon na dapat kino-consider. Ngayon, I don't know lang in the other institution, ang kino-consider lang nila ay 10 years down, 10 years backward. So kung pinag-usapan natin ngayon kanina ay online distance learning, what happened in the online distance learning from 2021 down to 2011? Okay, so doon tinitignan. Okay, although yun ay for studies and researches. Kung ang reference mo ay libro, you can go down as low kasi kung nandun lang naman talaga ang mga foundation. No? Pero kung studies, yun yung binibigay na allowance. 10 years below or 10 years backward. Obviously, after doing your literature review, ba, nagagawa ka lang ng literature review, you will be able to determine, sabi natin, your true gap. Okay? Dapat ma-identify mo na ngayon yung tinatawag nating true gap. Kasi kung ito na yung pinag-usapan pala sa ito na pala yung latest about the topic mo, mag-literature review ka na, lumabas ngayon. Dito pa pala kami kulang. Okay? Ngayon ang tanong, mababali na wala na ba yung una mong ginawa? It depends. Pwedeng tumuloy yun, kasi baka pwedeng lumabas din siya as a gap, or meron na palang mas dapat kang i-address. Kasi yung palang naisip mong gap ay na-solve na pala. Okay? Now, alam natin lahat that there are several types of gap. And normally, mga expert ones ang nakaka-identify nito. You can also teach this to your students, pero siguro yung mga fundamentals. Di ba? Yung mga known nga dyan, there are 7. Normally, there are 7 types of gaps. So, kung alam ng lahat ng bata yun, more or less, ma-identify nila kung saan kulang, saan may kulang pa. And that kulang can be their new idea. Now, pwede kasing evidence gap, population gap, pwede rin namang theoretical gap. There are so many gaps na pwedeng ma-generate after reading the articles. So, we now call this as real gap. This is your target, to identify in what area the current researchers are pointing or not pointing. Okay? Salamat kung yung naisip mo ay magiging gap. Salamat din kung ngayon nakita mo na mas kailangan pala ito. Okay? At least, mas meron ka ng ngayong guide. Okay, so, what comes next after this? Now that you have your gap, you can now generate your new research question. Alam mo na kung saan may kulang. So, pwede ka na uling mag-create ng bagong research question. Okay? Or pwede ka na ngayon maka-create ng siguro mas finite na question. Bakit kailangan mo yung medyo mas finite na question? Kasi after knowing it, after stating your finite question, you will now be able to come up with your working title. Diba? Meron ka ng susunod na working title. Now, ini-emphasize ko, it's just a working title. Kasi alam natin lahat na yung title, somewhere along the way, pwede pa yung magbago-bago, depende sa ibinibigay ng ating estudyante. Kaya tayo may working title also is to guide them. But also to guide them sa kanilang trabaho. Kasi they will always go back. Okay, ano na yan? Ano ba yung ginagawa mo? Malapit ba yan sa title mo? Ito ba yung gusto mo? Ano ba ang meron ka? Diba? At siya ay nanggaling mula sa research question na pinost mo. Diba? At saan nanggaling si question? Mula din sa graph na ginawa natin, na na-identify mo. Kung meron ka ng working title, ibig sabihin, medyo nagfo-focus na yung trabaho mo. Diba? Nagkakaroon na siya ng focus. And then, from here, you are now ready to generate your statement of the problem. So, ibig sabihin, SOP will come from your working title. It's not yet the title. But as much as possible, your final title will not be that far from your working title. So, ibig sabihin, ang ganda ng flow kasi hindi ka na lumalayo. Okay? And this is very, very important, especially in research presentations. Kasi kung kailangan maramdaman ng panel na alam mo yung ginagawa mo. Kasi baka along the way, you can never tell, ikaw na mismo nalilito ka na. Okay? Nalilito ka na sa ginagawa mo. Kaya meron tayong sinasabing alignment ng lahat. So meron ka ng working title, you can now generate your SOP. At pag sinabi natin SOP, ito yung declarative account of the main research problem na nandun sa title that will be investigated. So it is also the paragraph that encapsulates the realities to be investigated, the variables to be studied, and the summary of the methods to be applied. Then followed by specific questions. So ayan na, from the RQ to working title to your SOP, from the SOP, you are now ready to generate your specific questions. Okay, specific kasi nakafocus ka na. Now, this is my example for this one. So SOP to specific questions. Okay, so ito muna. Ano dapat ang ating specific questions? Dapat interesting. Interesting sa'yo at more or less dapat maging interesting sa iba. It is expected na interesting sa'yo yan. Bakit? Dahil nanggaling naman talaga yan sa idea mo. Next, it is researchable. Diba? Researchable. Information be found or generated to answer. Can information be found or generated to answer the question? Obviously, yes. Bakit? Nanggaling kasi yan sa mga, yung na-create mong tanong mo or less ay nanggaling sa mga binasa mo na research articles. So, researchable. Diba? Doon ka rin kasi kukuha ng ideya eh. Next, is it significant? More or less, yes. Kasi kung hindi yan significant, bakit mo pa gagawin? So, ang significant kasi ay something relative to the person. So, kaya niya ginagawa kasi alam niyang may halaga. Alam niyang may importansya. Yun yung dapat niyang i-project. Diba? Yun yung dapat niyang ma-project sa tao at saka sa kanyang mga viewers. Now, the next part is I will show you specific questions. And gladly, what I will show you right now are samples of specific questions from the different research methods under qualitative research. Ito po siya. Ayan. So if it is grounded theory, phenomenology, ethnography, or narrative inquiry, these were discussed by Dr. Calapis last Monday, so I will not discuss this anymore. Ang focus natin is yung mga tanong. Di ba ang sabi ko, pag research questions, normally, it will start with the word why. So pag naka-specific questions ka na, ang simula na ng mga tanong ay either what, how, when, and who. Yan na, kaya lang bihira naman ginagamit yung when and who. In most cases, what and how. So, tingnan mo to. Di ba, specific na talaga siya? What are the attitudes of elderly people which look towards the daily use of assistive devices and technologies? Ito ba mukha pang broad? Di ba, hindi na. Kasi very, very pointing ang tanong to attitudes of elderly people. Next, under phenomenology, what role does the therapist's spirituality play in the treatment of his or her parent, or patients rather? O, di ba? Very specific na role ang tinatanong. How do female high school teachers who have been physically assaulted by students overcome their fears so they can effectively teach? Again, this is a very good example of a specific question. Feelings mismo tinatanong. Kaya lang, if you will try to go over, ano ang common thing na nakikita nyo? All answers are basically in words. Kaya medyo talagang mahirap ang isang qualitative research because answers, responses are most likely in terms of words. Diba? Hindi siya numerical, unlike with quantitative researches na numerical. So ito, words. Okay? Kaya kailangan talagang dapat specific. But and again, sa ibang konteksto, sa ibang research frame, specific question is what they call the research question. Pero sa konteksto natin, I want to emphasize, RQ is more general. It starts with a why. A specific question is specific, and it starts with a what, a how, a when, or a who, in most cases. So let me give you an example. So this research attempts to find evidences to the woman as the other, its impact and causation to third-party films audience. More specifically, ayan na po, more specifically, it seeks to find the answers to the following questions. So may sinasabi siyang specifically kasi specific na ang mga tanong. Hindi na siya broad. Pag tinignan mo yung SOP, di ba, very, very obvious na more or less dito rin naman tatakbo ang topic. Dito rin tatakbo ang title. Tanggalin mo lang yung salitang the research, this research attempts to find. Tanggalin mo lang yan at magsimula ka na sa evidences, pwede na siyang lumabas na research title. Diba? So, statement of the problem is you just want to reconfigure the title and come up with the problem itself. So, yun lang naman yung ginawa ng author dyan. Dinikit lang yung to find evidences. So, ayan na actually yung method na ano yung mga variables yan, yung impact and causation. Okay? Now, if I will going to explain the topic dito, ang pinag-uusapan lang dyan ay ano ba ang effect or cause doon sa mga babae kapag ang tema ng pelikula ay third party. Ang babae ay isang third party. Ano ba ang dating sa kanya? Yan ang kino-conceptualize nung topic na yan. At syempre, ang dami talagang pwedeng maging possible answers. Diba? Although specific na ang mga tanong. Okay? So dito pa lang kitang-kita mo, hindi na ito broad. They are already specific questions. Okay? So that's the difference between an RQ and an SQ. Research question, broad, starts with a why. Specific questions, specific and starts with what, which, how, and sometimes when and who. Now, from here, we will now jump to what we call scope and delimitation of the study. Ano ba ito? Again, pag sinabing scope, actually, itong salitang delimitation, gusto kong i-emphasize, itong salitang delimitation, it already tells us something about boundaries. Hanggang saan yung research. Okay, kaya lang, meron kasing salitang scope na parang ganun din ang connotation. Kaya, to differentiate the two, pag sinabing scope, indicate the total area of the study by establishing the boundaries of your research through ano-ano yung i-discuss mo. So, who, where, when, what, why, and how. Yung why, sometimes sumasama, sometimes hindi. Bakit? Sasama siya dito kung wala namang special section about purpose of the study. Pero kung merong special section for purpose of the study, nandun na siya. Yung why mo, papasok na siya sa purpose of the study. Next, pag sinabing delimitation, sila yung mga variables na hindi mo talaga sinama. Okay? So these are the variables that are left out on purpose by the researcher. Ano yung mga hindi mo na sinama sa study na yan? Kasi di ba, in an oral argument or on oral presentation, minsan talagang aalamin sa'yo ng mga panel, bakit hindi mo ito nilagay, bakit hindi mo ito ginawa. So dapat alam mo rin sa sarili mo na you intentionally did not include that in your research for the reason of you have to explain it to them. Now, Ang scope, ano yung sinama? Ang delimitation, ano yung hindi mo sinama? Meron pang isang terminology na palaging na lumalabas din ngayon. By the way, ano muna ang example natin? So, ito yung scope. And here, yung second paragraph tells us your delimitation. However, the study will only consider those articles posted in social media within the time frame that this research is being conducted. Okay? So dito ang konsepto ng delimitation. So ibig sabihin, one way of saying it, yung lalabas with ng hindi nakasama yung mga articles, yung mga research, yung mga articles na yun na labas sa time frame nung kinakandak yung research. Okay? Next. Delimitation versus limitation of the study. So, diba, lumalabas na rin yan. Ano nga ba ang difference? So, yung delimitation, sinabi ko na kanina, ang limitation ay it indicates the weakness of the study in relation to some uncontrollable factors. Maaaring nandun yung mga variables, nandun yung pinag-uusapan, but you have to emphasize na merong certain things na hindi mo makokontrol talaga. So, kaya weakness of the study. So, these are factors which are possibly tied or not, but may affect the variables in consideration. So, for example, you want to attain academic achievements. So, nagpapakanda ka ng achievement test. Diba? So, siyempre, test, exam ng mga bata. Ano ang mga possible thing na pwede maka-apekto sa scores ng bata na hindi mo na siya makokontrol? Okay? So, unang-una dyan, yung emotions ng mga bata nung nag-exam sila. Kung may pinagdadaanan yun, hindi mo yun makokontrol. Pangalawa, baka merong sakit. Sakit lang. Okay? Yan. Or, baka yung room temperature. Diba? Hindi ka naka-aircon or naka-aircon, sobrang lamig, sobrang init, pwede rin maka-apekto dun sa pagkakandak ng research. So, yun yung mga limitations na hindi mo siya makukontrol, pero more or less, ay makaka-apekto sa iyong mga variables. Somehow, we call this as mga extraneous variables, mga confounding variables. But I will not discuss that in detail. So, ano naman ang itsura kapag limitation ang sinasabi? So, look at this part here. This study is limited to the evaluation of the academic performance between the participants that follows the Asian pop culture music scene compared to those who don't. So, ibig sabihin, doon lang ang focus. Hanggang doon lang sila. Anything that will go beyond this ay hindi isasama. Eh, ganoon din, hindi siya. Somehow, kung titingnan mo, ay para magkalapit talaga yung limit at saka deli. Kaya lang, meron talagang mga ganong mga institution na either I want the deli, meron mga institution na I want the limit. So, binigay lang natin ngayon is ano yung gagawin. Okay? Paano mo i-state how it differs from one from the other. So, deli, ano yung mga hindi mo talaga isasama, limit, kasama siya, pero ano yung mga factors na hindi mo makokontrol. Okay? Next, ano ba ang mga benefits na nakukuha natin? And who are the beneficiaries of research? Honestly, yung sinasabi nating beneficiaries of your research, sila yung mga tao na nilagay mo sa tinatawag nating significance of the study. Diba we have that portion? Significance of the study, significant to whom? So nilalagay na natin yan. So sila yung ine-expect natin beneficiaries na natin. Pero ano talaga yung benefits pagdating sa research? Una, so inform action. Diba? Study bears applicable findings with implications beyond the scope of the study. So after doing the research, may makikita kang resulta. Ito pala ang dapat kong gawin. Ito pala siya. So ito ang gagawin ko. So you are now giving the reader the possibility of what to do. Okay? Yan, informed action. Obviously, solve existing problems. Diba? Now, kung ang dilemma ng teacher ay ang kanyang classroom management, sabihin natin ganon, and then, conduct a research, and more or less, the teacher will be able to find solution sa kanyang problem. So, na-solve ang kanyang existing problem. Research and decision making. So, ito yung pinag-usapan, what does the number tell us? Ano ang sinasabi ng numero? Ano ang sinasabi ng output? Then, we decide. Okay? Are we going to expand? We decide after doing the research. Are we going to close down? Then we decide after doing a research. So marami kang benefits na pwedeng makuha sa research. And the last one is, of course, an in-depth analysis, okay, of the study. Normally, ginagawa ito ng mga, alam niyo yung nasa linya ng mga super experts na nagfo-focus na sila sa isang area. Okay? Unang-una, surface lang, hanggang sa pinakadulo-dulo ng konsepto na yun ay inaaral na nila. Because they want to share something na more deep, more, if I may say so, more intense. Diba? Kaya, isa rin siya sa mga benefit ng research, an in-depth analysis. Okay? So that ends my presentation. So thank you very much. I hope I was able to shed light in our discussion.
Thank you very much, Sir Herbert M. San Pedro, for that very informative talk on formulating of research questions. With your discussion, sir, I am sure our learners have enriched their knowledge on stating a good statement of the problem with specific questions. Participants are now more knowledgeable on how to formulate the scope and delimitation or limitation of the study. Thank you also, Sir Herbert M. San Pedro, for sharing the template of your school on the self-guide topic matrix. We are truly grateful for that, sir. With that, let us all give a virtual clap for Sir Herbert M. San Pedro. Okay, so I would like to acknowledge our participants in our Zoom meeting. We have participants from Schools Division Office of Antique, Patnongon, Schools Division Office of Cavite Province, Negros Oriental State University in Dumaguete City. We have from Cotabato State University, Pablito B. Mendoza Senior High School, Biliran Province State University, Polomolok National High School, Cebu Normal University. We also have from San Leon Elementary School, Pangasinan, Leyte Normal University of Tacloban City, Imelda Integrated Secondary School, Baliwag Polytechnic College, Palawan State University of Puerto Princesa City, Cebu Normal University, Abulog National Rural and Vocational High School. We also have from Laguna State Polytechnic University and from Gordon Heights National High School. Okay, we will continue with our acknowledgement later. We will now proceed to our question and answer portion. So, if you have some questions, kindly write it on our chat box and then we will try to answer. Okay, do we have some questions?
Okay, I saw one here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I saw the question is, what is the difference between an assumption of the study and hypothesis? Okay, so normally we say assumption of the study from the word itself. This is something that you assume to be the case. Ito yung ine-expect mo nang mangyari. Okay? Ine-expect mo nang mangyari without any proof at all. Okay. While in the hypothesis, this is an intelligent guess. Guess pa lang, but it will require you proof. Okay? It will require you proof. You have to undergo tests. You have to undergo inferential statistics in order for you to answer the hypothesis. Unlike with assumption, parang yun na yung mangyayari. Assume to be the case, okay, without any proof at all. Kaya kung nag-anta ka ng research, nagkakanda ka. Kaya normally, ang assumption of the study ay nandun sa area of qualitative rather than quantitative. Wala kang makikitang assumption of the study na nandun sa konsepto ng quantitative. Okay. Though, hindi lahat ng quantitative naman ay mayroong hypothesis. Kasi it depends din. So, pwedeng wala silang hypothesis, purely descriptive lang. Okay, so yun. So, that's most likely the difference between assumption of the study. Ano ang ina-assume na result ng study out of doing this, out of doing the protocols, out of doing all the process without any proof at all. Okay? Hindi mo na kailangan patunayan. Ina-assume mo na. All you need to do now is to see to it. See for yourself. So normally, kung basehan din nun ay mga researches din. Okay? Yun yung nakita ko. Okay. Okay. Pwede po bang i-state ang Delhi and limitation? Actually, ma'am, yun nga sinabi natin, pag the limitations, as sabihin, it already states you the boundaries. Okay, the boundaries. Kaya lang, meron nga isang term na ginamit na scope. Na pag tinignan mo yung konsepto ng scope, sakop din niya. So, ang pangit pakinggan na para bang delimitation and limitation. Kaya ang ginawa nila, ng mga research experts, is scope and delimitation. So, pipili ka lang. Scope, ang pangit naman pakinggan yung kaya hindi pwedeng gamitin nga yung Delhi and Lee. Kasi pag Delhi, tinanggal mo yung hindi kasama, pag limitation, yung weakness. Nasaan yung coverage? Okay, nasaan yung coverage? Okay, nasaan yun? So, kaya scope and Delhi ang partner or scope and Lee ang partner. Okay. Okay, so
Okay. So we also have question from Ma'am Milagros Gia. When do we use theoretical and conceptual framework, sir?
okay, so pag theoretical framework, actually ito isang ito isang pagtatalo na naman talaga, no? Yung konsepto ng conceptual framework and theoretical framework. So pag sinasabi natin kasi theoretical framework, from the word is that theories. So ano yung mga teorya na sumusuporta sa iyong studies? Okay, so kung ano-ano kung meron kang specific study na pinag-aaralan, what are these theories na sumusuporta sa iyong pinag-aaralan? That's theoretical framework. Yung iba naman, yung conceptual framework, is they simply use it as a title dun sa part 2 ng paggagawa ng research. Pero kung titignan mo, concept ang pinag-uusapan. Ano-ano na bang mga konsepto ang mga prinsipyo na pumasok na in relation to your study. Hindi ka nag-deal sa theory. Okay? Principles na pinag-uusapan. Pero ang talagang dilemma dyan ay which is which. So, either you consider conceptual or you consider theoretical. Again, nasa institution or nasa research panel kung ano ang kino-consider sa isang establishment or sa isang educational institution. Pero yun lang ang difference nila. From the root word theory, puro teorya ang pinag-uusapan. Conceptual framework, ano-ano bang mga prinsipyo, konsepto ang pwede mong gamitin. Kasi concepts may not be theories at all. Diba, syempre alam natin kapag mga may teorya, talaga may mga proponents dyan, may mga taong pinag-uusapan dyan. Diba? Pero ang concept, it can be a product already. Pwedeng produkto na ito ng iba pang mga pag-aaral. Okay? So, that's the difference between the two. So either you use theoretical or either you use conceptual. Which, it now depends sa institution. Okay, nasa institution talaga siya. Sa ibang nga, yung conceptual framework, title ng chapter 2. Yung iba, sa iba. Sa iba naman, ang title ng chapter 2 ay Review of Related Studies and Literatures. Diba, meron din ganon. So, pag conceptual ang ginawang framework, ang ginawang title, ang papasok sa loob, theoretical framework. Okay? Again, depende talaga sa gusto.
Okay, so we also have another question from Sir Ron Louis de los Reyes. When creating the statement of the problem, is it a must to include the resource of the question in the statement of the problem?
When creating the SOP, is it a must to include the resource of the question? No. Kasi, no need. Hindi na kailangan siyang i-indicate. Okay? Kasi, statement of the problem is basically came from your main problem, which is your working title. So, bakit isasama yung resources mo para sa SOP? Ang mga susunod na doon ay ikaw na as a researcher. Ikaw na ang nag-iisip. Ikaw na ang tumitingin. Ikaw na ang humihimay, ika nga sa Tagalog. Ikaw na ang maghihimay ng mga tanong. Ano ba ang kailangan kong ipasok? Ano ba ang kailangan kong itanong para masagot ko ang aking SOP? So in most cases, hindi kailangan at honestly, wala pa naman akong nakita na SOP na dinikitan ng resource of the question. So, diretso lang siya. Diba? Sinusulat lang talaga nila. Now, ang sabi dito, sunod na tanong ay, what's the difference between related lit and related studies? Pag literature, normally, ang sources nito ay mga books, news.
Okay. So, and the last question that we're going to entertain for tonight, because we already have a very limited time. For those questions that are not entertained or unanswered, kindly message Sir Herbert M. San Pedro or the Beyond Books publication FB page. Okay, so our last question for tonight, what are the best way to make your research title? The question from Sir Philip Adrian Biado.
What is the
best way to make your research title?
Okay, what's the best way? Honestly, guys, when you're talking about the best way of doing your research title, always consider the major parts of your research. The problem, the variable, the location, the respondents. Yung apat na yon. These are the possible or the expected results. Okay, ito kasi yung 5 elements na dapat pasok sa pag-create ng title. I repeat, you have your problem, your method, and your results. So ano ang meron sa method? So nandun yung procedure, na pwede mo sabihin, a survey, di ba, na kinanda. Or sino yung mga respondents? Saan mo ginawa? Pwedeng pumasok yon sa research title. And ano yung resulta in general? So let us say, significant ba? There is a relation ba? Pero syempre, i-configure mo yung title in such a way na lalabas yung mga elements na yon. Remember, the title is the summary of all the summaries. May summary ka na sa chapter 5, may abstract ka na, yung title mo, summary pa rin yun. Diba? Kung ano yung mga elements na nandoon, dapat nandun din siya sa topic, sa title mo, mas maiiksi nga lang. Okay? So, okay? That will be all.
Okay. So thank you very much, Sir Herbert, for answering those questions. And now, may we now call Dr. Mayra Flores for this presentation of the Certificate of Recognition. Okay, while waiting from Dr. Mayra, allow me to read more participants from our FB page. We have Central Bicol State University of Agriculture, Negros Oriental, Bulacan. We also have from Bayambang, Pangasinan, Norsu Gilhulngan High School. We also have participants from all over the Philippines. We have from Mindanao, we have from Cebu, Pangasinan, Tarlac, Nueva Ecija, Nueva Vizcaya. Thank you very much for following the Beyond Books publication FB page and YouTube live. Thank you. We truly appreciate that. Kindly continue following us and participating with this research talk. Okay? Let me read the Certificate of Recognition presented to Sir Herbert M. San Pedro for being the resource speaker during the Beyond Books publication research talks for Practical Research 1 with the theme State Research Questions, Indicates Scope and Delimitation, Cite Benefits and Beneficiaries of Research, and presents written statement of the problem via Zoom, given the 16th day of April 2021. Signed, Dr. Leonilo B. Capulso, Chairman, Chief Executive Officer, or President of Beyond Books Publication. Thank you very much, Dr. Mayra Flores. The evaluation link for today's webinar will be posted in the chat box. Kindly answer the evaluation link in order to receive certificate of participation for this webinar. And now, everyone is requested to open their camera for the pictorial. In behalf of Beyond Books Publication, I would like to ask your permission or consent for us to post your pictures for documentation purposes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you. Okay, 1, 2. Okay. Okay, smile. Okay, thank you. And now, I would like to call Dr. Rigel Santiago for the closing remarks.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Sherry. Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so once again, in behalf of Beyond Boast Publication, I would like to express my sincerest gratitude for those who are behind this program. Of course, to Almighty God, who gives us strength and wisdom to facilitate this program. To our CEO President, Dr. Leonilo B. Capulso, the man behind of all of this, who initiated to have this kind of research talk that will help a lot of students and teachers as well in writing and constructing a research beneficial in responding to the needs of the society. To our hardworking program chairman, Dr. Maria Teresita Calapis, who always assure that the flow of the sessions will be smooth sailing as much as possible. To our IT specialists, Ma'am Myra Flores, Sir Jaben Lokshon, and Dr. Maria Yvette Maniano, who always provide technical assistance for us. To our very competent speaker for this evening, Dr. Herbert M. San Pedro, for sharing your expertise in the topics. Talaga naman pong napakarami po namin natutunan sa gabing ito. To our facilitator, Ma'am Sherry Garcia, who did not hesitate to say yes to me to be the facilitator tonight. Ma'am, I owe you a lot. To the rest of the technical working group and members of BBP lecturers and speakers, let us always remember that we are doing this service for the benefit of our researchers and of course to all the participants no, from different schools, from different areas of this country who devoted their time for us tonight. Sana po ay huwag kayo magsawang sumubaybay sa mga susunod pa pong research talks. Ang atin pong 3 Eyes, Inquiries, Investigations, and Immersion every Wednesdays. And ang ating pong Practical Research 1 every Fridays. You may also invite your colleagues, classmates, friends, and we will assure you guys that we will give our best to serve you and provide you necessary knowledge and skills essential in writing a research paper. So with that, again, thank you and happy writing, happy researching. Not to God be the glory. Before I continue, let's give ourselves a virtual round of applause. Okay po, yan po. Maraming salamat po. So also, we would like to, again, encourage you to avail our books in our library that you can use as references. Ma'am Myra, meron po ba tayong slides po dyan ng atin pong mga libro po? Ayan po. So ito po yung mga available books po na pwede po nating actually i-avail na siyang makakatulong po no, sa atin pong pagsusulat ng ating research. So next slides please kung meron pa po tayong mga pictures ng ating po mga libro. Yan po. So we have this new book, Inquiries, Investigations, and Immersion. And we are very proud to say na ang mga ilan po sa mga authors po natin dito ay siya rin po mga nagbabahagi or yung mga speakers po natin sa mga sessions po natin. So also, meron pa po tayong mga books pa po na pwede pa po nating ma-avail that will help us in writing our research, thesis, dissertation. Yan. So for those who are actually enrolled no, in doctorate na, how to write and publish your dissertation. Meron din po tayong ano no for those who are enrolled in master's degree and those who are writing their thesis, how to write and publish your thesis. Okay po, meron pa po ba tayo ma'am? Notebooks po. Ayan, so how to write and publish your thesis. Ayan po. Ayan, so action research po no. Lalo po ito po ay napakahalaga po sa mga educators po ngayon. Talagang we are encouraged no to write an action research. So malaki po maitutulong sa atin itong librong ito, how to conduct action research in education. Okay po. Meron pa po ba tayo, ma'am? Ayan. So also, para mas maintindihan nating mabuti ang pasikot-sikot sa pagsusulat ng quantitative and qualitative research, we also have research methodology, quantitative and qualitative. Ayan po. Meron po ba? Yan. So, since sa session po tayo ng practical research, makakatulong din po sa atin ito. So, kanina po sinasabi po ng ating speaker, no? So yung PR1 is more on qualitative research. Right, Sir Herbert? Tama po ako, no? More on qualitative, no? Ito naman pong practical research 2, na isa rin sa mga bagong libro natin, is more on quantitative research na pwede rin po nating i-avail. Meron pa po ba tayo, Doc Mai? Ayan. Isa rin po, no, bago rin po natin ano po to, no, publication. Sa those who are interested that their researches, dissertation, thesis be published, we have this International Journal of Advanced Multidisciplinary Studies, no. We have volume 1 or issue number 1. We also have issue number 2. So kung gusto po ma-publish no, yung inyong po mga research papers, you may contact or just call us, no, email us para po ma-publish. At para makita po ng mas marami po nating mga researchers ang inyong gawa. Meron pa po ba tayo, Doc Mai? Ayan, so you may publish your articles, no, from April to June 2021 para sa ating issue 3. So you may contact or message our associate editor, Sir Joel N. De La Cruz, and of course our President CEO, Dr. Lenny B. Capulso. You may contact us 0977-349-1201, no? Next po. Ayan. So ang ating pong managing editor ay ang ating pong chairman dito sa PR1, no? Si Dr. Maria Teresita G. Calapis. Pwede rin po siyang kontakin para po magkaroon pa ng mas marami pong mga information and ng mga nais po kayo malaman kung paano po mapapublish ang inyong pong mga paper sa ating pong iJams. Okay po, meron pa po ba tayo? Ayan po, ang ating naman pong IT section editor. Of course, ang ating pong IT specialist dito po sa ating mga research talks, no? Dr. Myra G. Flores. Yan. Pwede rin po siyang i-chat, i-text, or senda ng email po for more inquiries po. Also, ang ating pong IT section editor din, si Sir J. Ben Locsion, na talaga naman pong salitan po sila nila Dr. Myra at nila Ma'am Yvette, no, sa pag-facilitate ng ating IT po, para maging maayos at smooth sailing ang ating po mga sessions. No? You may contact him also. Sir J. Beneficiaries. Po, meron pa po ba tayo? And of course, our editor-in-chief, ang talaga namang pinagmamalaki ng Beyond Books publication, no? Ang walang ang ating pong talaga man behind of all of this, Dr. Lenny B. Capulso, PhD, yung DPhil. So, President CEO, Beyond Books Publication. So, wag na po magpatumpik-tumpik. So, kindly contact us, no, in this cellphone number para po ma-publish na po ang inyong mga researches po. Yan po ba tayo sa ating slides po? Ayan. So, ini-invite din po namin kayo. Siguro naman po, yung iba po sa inyo ay na-witness po ang ating pong recently concluded, no, na International Multidisciplinary Research Conference na ginanap po last week, no, from April 8 to 10, no, ng last week po. We are happy to announce na magkakaroon po ito ng round 2. Okay, magkakaroon po tayo ng round 2 and we are very excited kasi for sure ito ay magiging isang matagumpay na naman po na research conference at ito naman po ay gaganapin sa September 2021. I think that will be on September 24 to 26. Ang research conference na ito ay ang host country naman po ay ang Athens, Greece. So imagine, nasa Philippines tayo pero makakarating tayo sa Athens, Greece, sabi nga po nila. And we will also have again our Global Leaders and Educators Awards, no? So meron po tayong mga different categories for your nomination and I think talaga will work out ni Dr. Capulso na madagdagan pa po yung mga categories, no, na pwede po nating mai-award dito po sa awarding na gaganapin po natin na included dito sa ating multidisciplinary research conference. So you may submit your research abstracts and nominations. So just contact Beyond Books Publication 0933-556-4886 or you may email us at beyondbookspublication2018@gmail.com. So all of you guys are invited. Okay. And siguro po idagdag ko lang po tong pinapa-announce po ng atin pong ang ating pong president, no? Dr. Linilo Capulso. So attention awardees of the recently concluded research conference. As of the moment, we are now preparing your plaque or plaque of packaging for packaging, no? The books of accomplishments, however, is still on the process due to limitations of COVID-19 protocols. If you wish to receive your plaques ahead, we can do already proceed. However, the book will be for another shipping transaction. So we have these two options, guys. No? Two options. First option, one shipping transaction only. Meaning, you are willing to wait for the book of accomplishment until finalized. Then yung option number 2 naman will be dalawang shipping transaction po. 2 shipping transaction. Meaning, you want the plaques and medals to be shipped ahead. The book of accomplishment will be done in the second shipping transaction. So thank you very much for understanding. Again, our apologies for this limitation due to health protocols. So God bless us all. Message us for your option. Also, kindly answer Google form for your option. So you may again contact us 0933-556-4886 or you may email us at beyondbookspublication2018@gmail.com. So with that, good evening and God bless. So see you sa mga susunod pa po nating research talk. Ma'am Sherry?
Thank you very much, Sir Rio, for your remarks. And we are truly excited to join those activities initiated by Beyond Books Publication. Yes, we hope to join, especially we're going to Greece, to Athens. We're so excited for that.